Hello besties, welcome back to another behind the scenes vlog of running my bookish mail club. If you guys are new here, new to me or my channel, I run a mail club for readers specifically every single month where I send my subscribers cozy bookish paper goods. This includes bookmarks and a newspaper that I write for readers, a personal letter, word games, activities, all of that kind of thing, and it is just so much fun. And I actually filmed this entire video already. As I was editing, I realized I never filmed an intro. And so basically where this video starts is me working on my newspaper and some of the challenges that I was having with said newspaper. So I think that's going to be it for this introduction. I just wanted to kind of start you guys off on the right foot so you know where the vlog is starting, I guess. And I think that's it from me. So let's go back in time to see where the June mail club started. The newspaper by far is the most challenging digital component of my mail club. And so I've noticed that each month I tend to put off making the newspaper the longest. And when the time comes that I need to work on it and get started, I just see the mountain ahead of me of what I need to write and research. And sometimes it kind of scares me a little bit. And so I've been trying to think of different ways to make writing the newspaper easier for myself, because while it's definitely the most challenging part of the club, it's also the most rewarding, and I think one of the biggest reasons that people sign up for my club. If you're new here or new to me, I write a newspaper for readers every single month that talks about books coming out in the upcoming month, along with other things that are just going on in the literary community. I think I have one from last month. Let me see. Another thing I have no idea what to do with is newspapers and letters from previous months, because I do always have a few extra. So not really sure what to do with the old letters. Here is a May letter. Let's see. So here's an example of a newspaper that I have written in the past. This is the one from May. And on the front, I talked about May new releases that are coming out that I think readers should keep an eye out for. And then on the back, I wrote a few articles, one about the Pulitzer Prize. I wrote one about finding time to read during busy schedules. And I also did a little game with a bunch of quotes, and it's can you name the famous book that these quotes are from? And it's just so much fun. It's called the Cozy Reader News, and I'm obsessed with it. A couple things that I have been doing lately to kind of make this easier is every month I want my newspapers to look very similar to each other, but I like the layout to change a little bit. And so I created a template for myself of the newspapers. So there's a few different rotations that I'm going through in terms of formatting. So that's definitely made my life a lot easier, because now I don't have to reformat it every single month. It is currently May 6th, and today I am starting on the June newspaper, and I have literally the entire thing to go. So I need to do a bunch of research right now and figure out what books are coming out in June that everybody needs to be so excited about, and what books am I so excited about coming out. So that's the first thing. Then I need to research everything that's going on in the book world and write some articles about it for the June newspaper. And the thing that's difficult about this is I have to write the newspaper early. But if I write about current events, like what's happening on May 6th, that's old news by the time it gets to you guys in the middle of June. So that's another thing that I deal with, is looking to the future and being what is going to happen in June as I write these newspapers. Essentially, basically, I love my newspaper so much, but I tend to procrastinate starting on them. I've already completed a draft of the letter, and I've already completed a draft of my word game that's going to everybody, and I've already put an order in for the bookmarks and all my supplies. But now I need to write the newspaper, and I'm scared because I want it to be so good and perfect, and I just want you guys to absolutely love it. And I want to make sure that the books I'm recommending hit a bunch of different genres and that they're actually good, but usually I haven't read them all. I have so much research to do. So let me show you guys this template that I have created for myself. There's honestly not really an easy way to do this, but this is just a quick scroll through my template. So I've basically saved different formatting from previous newspapers, and I go in and I pick which template I want to use, and then I edit that template. And it's definitely making my life easier. All of that said, my goal for today, I think, is to just find the top 6 books that I think people should keep on their radar in June. I'm going to go do a bunch of research. This requires a bunch of different websites and reading blogs and watching reviews and stuff like that of people who have arcs, and just figuring out which 6 books I think are going to be the best books essentially in that are like coming out. And that's going to be my main goal for today. And then I think my bonus goal is going to be not really writing anything, but just deciding on the columns that I'm going to include. So of course I'm going to talk about the new releases, but then on the back side, I like to include a few different articles, as I've said, and deciding what those articles are actually going to be can be very time consuming because it takes, again, research. Duh. We talked about this. So those are my goals. Decide on the books, decide on the columns, and then I'm going to feel like today was an absolute win. And then once kind of the decision making is done, it's like decision fatigue, right? Like I'm tired, it's difficult to make choices, but once I've made choices, then I can actually write, which is really fun. And I love doing that part. Wish me luck. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this behind the scenes vlog. I love doing these. I hope that you guys enjoy them too. It's been hours, honestly, and I was not planning on updating this video anymore. Today, I was like, oh, I'll check in with you guys like another time, but I literally had to pick up the camera because I just had the best idea. I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just get struck with ideas and it feels like they kind of came out of nowhere. So what I wanted to do today is write a whole bunch of different ideas of like articles and columns that I could write in not only this month's newspaper, but future newspapers. So if I'm struggling to think of things for that month, I can go back to this list and be like, oh, these are a bunch of ideas that I had and I could like write an article about it. But sometimes when I'm like thinking of ideas, I'll like think of little games or little activities. So I've done in past newspapers like name that book or like name that quote where you match the quote to the book that it was in. I did like an emoji game. So like based on the emojis, what book title is it? I've done trivia. I've done a lot of games. And so I was like kind of thinking of some other like games or activities. And it's kind of morphed into some like bonuses or things that I don't include every month, but things that I include some months. And I literally just had the best idea for June. Like, I want to do it so bad. I was thinking, how fun would it be if I could include some kind of TBR jar in this month's mail? But obviously, like, it can't be too crazy or intense or require too much like cutting or things because I do have over 100 letters to send. And I got this idea. I'm going to work out the kinks, but I'm like so certain that I'm going to do it. Is what if I created a graphic or like a design where there's a jar, like imagine a piece of paper and there's a jar on the front of it. And inside the jar, there's a bunch of numbers or like a bunch of letters. I kind of like that idea. There's a bunch of letters and there's like a title and some instructions. And the instructions tell you you're going to pick your June TBR, pick some numbers, like pick 3 numbers or pick 3 letters floating around in the jar. Then you flip the page over and on the back side are corresponding prompts with the letters. So like, let's say the alphabet was like in that jar and you picked letters like B, Z, and C, you would flip it to the back and be like, what are my prompts? Like what's my TBR based on the letters that I chose? Guys, it's like such a good idea. Like I'm not one to say things like this usually. I'm very like, I don't know. I just don't, I won't outwardly say that I've had a good idea, but I have had such a good idea to the point where I want to just abandon the newspaper completely and go work on this cute little TBR jar that I want everybody to have. And so I honestly think I might do that. It's 4:30 right now and I'm going to get a little teeny bit more work done on the newspaper. I do want to choose like my final columns. I know one of them, but I have 2 more to decide. And then I'm going to make this little TBR jar thing. And then I think I need to go on a walk because I'm kind of going crazy staring at my computer. So literally just had the best idea. I can't stop thinking about it. I'm so excited. Like I want to play it myself and I haven't even made it yet. So anyway, that is my little update for the day. Again, I don't think I'm going to update this video again unless I don't think I'm going to update this video again today unless I get hit with like some other crazy, crazy idea, but I'm having so much fun. And I think it's going to be such a good little extra. I hope I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm gonna do it. I am now headed back to work, but I will see you guys another day very, very soon. I got a few packages for snail mail in the mail today, and so I thought I could unbox these and also give you guys a bit of an update on what I've been up to with the mail club. I also just got home from a pool day with one of my friends and out of the shower. It is a Saturday evening, and so do not mind the chaos, do not mind the mess. Today is May 9th, and at this point I have finished the drafts, like the very rough drafts for everything digital, if that makes sense. So I finished my rough draft for the newspaper, my letter, and my word activity, word game, plus the little TBR jar activity that I told you guys about. And I'm loving them all so much this month. I don't know why. Some months I just like it more than others. I will say my writing is feeling very rough for the newspaper in particular. Sometimes I just cannot get words to flow properly, and other times it just like magically comes out of my brain. I don't know if I've mentioned it in this vlog, but I don't use any AI to write literally anything. I feel like that takes the beauty and the magic away. So everything that you guys read is from my brain, and I'm very, very proud of it. Even though if I'm not like a perfect writer, I'm getting better every single time. So I feel really good about that. And so for the next like 2 weeks, I'll be basically revising, rereading, editing, printing it out, reading it, editing it physically. It kind of just goes through a few different iterations. So I'm feeling really good about that. That's how I spent part of my Saturday. But as you guys can see, the bookmarks have arrived for June. This is the June Mail Club, and I'm so excited to see these. I think I ordered 150 because I think for this last month we had 130 some members, which is just so exciting. I wanted to kind of lean into like a cutesy summery vibe, but I didn't want to be too summer on the nose. Like I think with some of my bookmarks, it's been so painfully obvious what month it is. Like February was really like pink and florally and beautiful, and don't get me wrong, I love doing that every now and again, but sometimes I want to be like on theme adjacent. So I'm feeling really excited about the art that I bought and the bookmarks that I got. So I'll start with the fun side. I feel like I'm like, ooh, pick a card, any card. No, I'll start with the fun side, the more fun side, I guess, which is a bunch of blueberries. Like, guys, when I saw this, I lost it. They're the cutest little pan-painted blueberries on the front, and I just think they are so stunning and adorable and very summery. And then on the back I just have like a matching wood plank, very simple on the back, just like a wood blue panel that matches those blueberries. And so this one has a very obvious, I think, front and back, and I think they're so cute. I'm actually so happy to be seeing them in person. I feel like when I make them online, I know that I'm not going to be able to see them for literally weeks, and so it's just so fun and exciting that all of the blueberry bookmarks have arrived. So that's 150 of these. And then the other package that I got is this one from the UPS, because I order all my stamps directly from the UPS, and I have never had a UPS package this thick before. This is literally $100 in stamps alone, which is crazy. But I'm like, why is it so big? Usually it's just a little envelope, because they're in like big booklets this time. Whoa. Whoa, they don't usually look like this. Okay, so the first stamp pattern that I got is these little guys holding up a red heart. I feel like this is a very iconic stamp, and I'm actually really obsessed with this. I think this is super cute. The envelopes that I got for this month are red, and so I felt like these stamps would match really well with a red envelope. And then I also have, I have so many of these, like, wow. And then I also have these international stamps. I would love to send the international besties the like stamps that I do every single month, but they don't work international, and I think I have to stick like 3 of these stamps on an envelope for an international person versus one of these, and that would literally be like, I don't know, $2 or $3 in there, $2 to $3 of like these stamps versus like $1.75. You guys don't care. Basically, I don't charge you more if you're international. I want this to be equally accessible to everybody all around the world. So if you sign up internationally, I just make less money, and that's just important to me because I want to have lots of besties all over the world. So these are my international stamps, and I'm really excited. I will say, while I'm on the topic of stamps and envelopes and stuff. I talked about this a little bit in my last vlog, but I've been struggling a bit because something that I need to start doing that I just don't want to do is standardize like a couple things in my mail club each month, particularly the color of my envelopes and the stamps that I'm using, because at the end of every month I have a substantial amount of leftover envelopes, leftover stamps, and it's not efficient or smart for me to run my mail club that way. And there's no reason that I need to be choosing like different color envelopes every month and different stamps every month, besides the fact that I think it's fun and I just feel and assume that you guys think it's really fun. And like, obviously it is fun, right? But I do think at a certain point I need to standardize. And so I feel like, and like everything else is remaining completely the same. I essentially need to pick branded colors, and like I have a really hard time committing to things, like committing to an aesthetic for the Cozy Reader Co. So I'm like, do I use these stamps every single month? Do I use like a green envelope every single month? I just don't know what the brand colors are, and I'm struggling with that. So I will be putting off that decision for as long as I can. And it's not like binding, I can switch at any point, but when it comes time to order all of my supplies, I panic and I just like order something new because I'm not ready to commit yet. Those are kind of all my updates. I have lots and lots and lots of editing to do. Even today, I like was working on the newspaper, left to hang out with a friend, came back tonight to like finish working on it, finished working on the draft, and I reread some of the other parts that I wrote earlier, and I was like, oh my God, this is horrendous. Like, what I'm trying to communicate, really love. Like, I'm like, oh, I love these ideas, but how they're written could use work. And I've like been into writing my entire life. I've journaled my entire life. I love to write, but I don't think I'm a very polished writer by any means. And I don't have an editor. It's literally just me and the words and the vibes and all of that good stuff. So it takes a lot of revising. And even when I send it out, it's not perfect, and I just kind of have to be okay with that. So that's kind of what I have ahead of me for the next couple weeks, is lots of revising and rewriting and like printing and testing stuff. But I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. I always have a hard time stopping talking, so I'm gonna stop and probably not work more tonight. I want to eat some dinner and just like relax and read my book, but I'll update you guys when I have more exciting, fun mail club updates. I literally filmed this entire clip probably like 2 hours ago, but I've been having a lot of microphone issues in this vlog. I really don't understand why. And so I'm redoing that all again. But hi, hello. Today is Monday, May 18th, which means we have about 1 week left until I need to send out everybody's mail club letters. I like to try and ship things out on the 25th because it gives a good amount of time for the letters to arrive to you guys starting around the beginning of, in this case, June, all throughout the next few weeks of June, depending on where you are in the world. I have some besties in London and some in Sydney, Australia, and some in Madrid, Spain, and just you guys are all over the world, and I think that's really, really cool. And so if I actually sent out the June letters in June, some of you guys wouldn't get them until the very, very end of June. And so I like to send them out at the end of May, so then you're almost guaranteed to be receiving them in the month of June, like in the month that it's for. What you guys would have seen earlier in the B-roll is like the final step that I like to do for all of the paper goods that go into my envelope. And everything that I work on, I do it on my computer. I review it a bunch of times online. But the final step that I think is so important is I print everything out in physical copies, and then I do a reread and like a physical review of everything in paper form. And I find that when I do it this way, I'm actually way better at catching mistakes that I don't see on my computer. And so what I do is I play or do each of the activities. So I went through and I did my summer TBR jar activity that I think turned out really good. And I noticed that the alignment was wrong when I printed it out. So if I cut this, things would get cut off because they're not properly aligned. So I was like, okay, I have to fix that. Then I played the crossword for the month and I noticed one little issue with this when I played it, but I fixed that now. And then I also read both of my like reading materials, I guess, fully out loud. So the personal letter that I write to you guys every single month, I read this out loud and I noticed one little thing that I needed to fix. And then I do the same thing for the newspaper. And actually on the newspaper is where I found the most mistakes this month. I think I found 2 on the front and 6 mistakes on the back. And I literally just go at it with a red pen and highlight things that I need to fix. And then I take all of this physical review, go back into my computer, fix the documents for the final time, and then I start printing everything. And so, as I mentioned earlier, I think I said it, today is a Monday, and Monday means I work today. I do work another job for anyone who doesn't know, and so I cannot just work on my YouTube channel and reading and my mail club at all hours of the day. Would absolutely love to do that, but unfortunately, that is not the situation that we are in. And so since it's a Monday, I am working, but one benefit of working fully remote is that with a mail club, what I can do is print things while I'm working on other tasks. So unless I'm in a meeting, I can't really do that if I'm in a meeting because the printer's loud, but when I'm working on whatever project it is that I am working on, I can kind of set my printer to just print things in the background while I'm working on other tasks. And that is what I've been doing this afternoon. So I fixed up everything and I have started printing all of the paper goods, but I have not nearly finished it. I probably started like at 11:30 and it's 1:30. I've printed all of the crosswords and I'm probably halfway through the TBR jar activity. That's kind of what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day, is just working and keeping an eye on my printer, because if the ink starts to run low, I have to change the cartridges. And so if I'm not next to the printer, I run the risk of things like a bunch of paper goods printing really poorly. So I like to be near the printer while everything is happening. That was a lot of updates, I feel like, but that's honestly everything that's going on right now. It's kind of just that final countdown of like printing and cutting and packing, and I have about a week to do it. And it's getting harder each month because we have more besties joining, which I think is so much fun. And so I think it'll eventually get to the point where maybe like a week and a half or 2 weeks before I'm going to have to start preparing and doing all of these tasks. But for now, a week is perfect, and I like simultaneously love this week, but also get a little bit like nervous and stressed because I just don't know how long it's going to take. But yeah, okay, I think those are all my updates. I'm going to get back to actually working my work job and printing everything in the background. I feel like I have so much to update you guys on. Today is Friday, May 22nd, and transparently, I don't know when the last time I updated this video was, but I think the last time that I updated you all, I was still printing things. Maybe I did a little bit of cutting in this vlog, and since then I have cut everything down to size. I folded everything, signed everything, and put them into the final envelopes. And so now I'm on like the last steps and the finishing touches, and those finishing touches are putting my return address to my PO box on all of the envelopes and putting your guys' actual mailing address on the envelopes, stamps, and then on the back putting the gold foil sticker and then actually stamping the envelopes. So, and again, it doesn't, I think I said this last month, but it doesn't really sound like that much. I'm like, oh yeah, I have to put a bunch of stickers on things. But when you think about it, it's like, if there's 130, I think we have 133 members this month. That's 133 return addresses. That's 133 addresses and 133 stamps. And I think you get the idea. So basically, like, the amount of people that I have in the club times like 5 different stickers that I need to put on each envelope. And it honestly just does take a lot of time, but it might be my favorite part. Like, there's something about a mindless task that I absolutely love. And so I feel like there are certain parts of the assembly that are more mindless than others. And weirdly enough, the more mindless, the better. So like putting stickers on things, absolutely love. I'm obsessed with it because there's so many other activities that I can do while putting stickers on things. So a lot of the time spent packing up the June mail club, I've spent listening to 2 different audiobooks. I've been listening to Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas, and I'm really, really enjoying that book. I honestly didn't know what to expect from the Crescent City series. I have never read them before, and so this is the first time that I've ever picked up Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. So I'm listening to that, and then there were also points where I was packing things up where it's a little bit less mindless. Oh, a good example of that is cutting. You would think that cutting would be really mindless, but there are very specific measurements that I'm cutting everything down to. Like, it's like 12.176 inches, like just kind of random numbers. And so in my head, I'm like saying those numbers over and over again. And so I was like, I cannot listen to Crescent City right now. Like, this is far too complicated for me to be cutting specific measurements on everything and listening to a very complicated story. So I started a different audiobook that took a lot less brain power to listen while I was cutting everything. And so I'm also in the middle of the titles are long. It's like the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, I think. That's really fun and cute and cozy. I'm in the middle of that one. And so I just feel like I get so much like audiobook time done. I love to call my friends and my family while working on the mail club. I also really, really love to catch up on booktube and YouTube, and it's just so fun. And I am quite literally at my favorite part, which is putting stickers on everything. It just brings out my inner child, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Yeah, so that's honestly the last thing that I'm going to be doing is probably, hopefully today, putting a bunch of stickers on things. And then what I'm actually going to do, which I have not talked about in this vlog at all, is I honestly don't think I do the best job promoting my mail club. I think I do a decent job on YouTube. However, on other platforms like on TikTok and Instagram, the short form content doesn't come quite as naturally to me. I really, really love making long form videos, but when it comes to YouTube Shorts and TikToks and Instagram, it's just the thing I never have time for at the end of the month. And so since I was able to kind of pack up everything and get things done earlier this month, what I want to do is take some time this weekend to get some cute videos and maybe plan some social content for Instagram and TikTok particularly, because, people sign up, people cancel, and obviously the goal is to grow this, not like a crazy amount. I still want to keep this to be a very intimate community, but grow it as much as I can sustainably. And the best way to do that is to use Instagram and to use TikTok and to use YouTube, but I don't want to overdo it. And so I just, there's a fine line between all of that. And so after I finish packing everything, I'm going to try to take some cute aesthetic pictures of things and videos and maybe edit together some shorts, add some pictures to my website, do that kind of thing, because I'm not very good at prioritizing that. And it is equally as important as the mail club itself. So I think that is my plan. Honestly, I feel like I might just end the vlog here. I know that I have a lot of video and a lot of content already ready to go. The only thing that you guys are gonna miss is literally just me sealing up all of the envelopes. That is something that you've seen before. So I hope you guys enjoyed this behind the scenes vlog of running my mail club. It is so much fun. If you have any questions or ideas or requests, please leave them in the comment section down below. And if you happen to be interested in signing up for the Cozy Reader Club, I always include all of those links in the description box down below. You can cancel anytime. It's super quick and super easy. But I think that's gonna be it for me. If you guys made it all the way here, comment down below. Let's do the red heart for the red envelopes. Clearly I haven't standardized anything yet, as you guys can see. Comment down below the red heart or just like a bunch of red emojis so I know who made it all the way here. And be sure to like and subscribe if you guys are interested in more behind the scenes vlogs of my mail club. I hope you guys are having a great day and a great reading month, and I will see you on Saturday for my next bookish upload. Bye!